Hi everyone, it's Katie from Scrap for Your Life YouTube. Thanks for watching and subscribing. Today I'm going to show you a pop-up box that I made this die cuts from the Spellbinders die for a swap I was in from Tiffany Crafting Like a Boss McGill on her YouTube channel. She had a swap going for her Facebook group, Coffee, Cake, and Crafting. And so I sent my partners a pop-up box die set. Everything that I sent them was to make this box. All the flowers, they were to put them together and then add the different lattice and the butterflies and everything on the box. So here is the die that I used. It was the Spellbinders pop-up box card, and I got this die on Walmart.com quite a while back, I think about a year ago. And then on the box I did this trim, and I used this die, and I think it's the Ironworks die from Spellbinders. I got it at Tuesday morning in a set. Okay, so I'm going to start with the panels. And also I wanted to mention that I got the flower dies from the Picturesque from the Cricut die cartridge. The flowers and the, what else was it? It was, oh, the leaves from there and the butterflies. Okay, let me get my glue. So the first thing you do is cut out 4 panels with the die, and then they all have the crease marks in them, and you're going to crease 3 of the panels where they're scored at, but you're not going to do the 4th panel. You're going to leave that straight. So I've already did the creases, and if your creases are the wrong way when you get the box together, you can always fold it back the other way. So first thing you're going to do is take the first one, and let's see, my paper has a different sheen on one side, so the shinier side I want to be the outside of the box. So I'm going to start with putting glue on this second one. My glue down here. This always happens. I even checked to see if it was not clogged before I started, but I guess it still is. Okay. Okay, there it goes. So I'm just going to put glue on the panel, and you can rub it to the edges. And then I'm going to take the second panel and I'm going to put it on this one, and I'm going to line it up, make sure they're straight. The dries clear glue dries fast for this, so you can use the score tape instead if you want, or some other kind of glue. Okay, so you have the 2 panels, and then I'm going to take my 3rd panel and put glue. It's still the shiny side up, so I'm going to put the glue on the panel right here. And I'm not going to run it with my finger because I get glue on my finger, too much glue on my finger right now. So I have that on there. And then the last panel, I'm going to crease the score line for that one, and then put the glue on. And then just line it up. You can fold it over like that to get it lined up. And then it's forming the box. And again, you'll have this one straight, you won't bend it. So then you bring it around to form the box, and you'll fold the crease on this one inward, and then you'll put glue on it, and then pull this panel around and attach it. Line it up. Try to get the bottom lined up so it will sit straight. And just give it a rub to kind of make sure it's creased together. Okay, so now I got my flaps on. And then I have these panels that I cut out, and my swap partners got these panels too. I cut them out for them. So there's two long ones, and then there's a square one. And the long ones are 2 1/4 by 5 1/4 long, and the small square ones are 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. So what I'm going to do is put the glue on the panels, and again you can use score tape if you want for this, and then I'll just center it onto the flap, and you'll do that for the two flaps here. Make it a little bit more. And the last one. Okay, and then you're going to take your long flap and put glue on it. And then you're going to just stick it down inside and center it on this inside flap. And you can push it from the bottom like this. And I just want to make sure that don't put your flaps on before you make your box, because then this little flap, if it's folded over, it won't be covered on the inside of there. So put it on after, and then I'll put the back on too. Now you can wait to put the back on if you want to take your pieces, your borders. You can take your borders, and that will be the next step. You can either put the flap on or not, because what I did with the border was I took the border and I took it around to the right to the edge, and then I cut it off. But if you want, the border will overlap and go underneath the flap if you want it to come around and show that way. I just cut it right there. But don't put the back panel on if you want it to overlap first, because then it will be on top if you wanted to do that. So, and I'm just going to cut it, so I'll just put on the flap first. Try to get it centered on your box. So now I'll just flip up these so they're out of the way, and I need to punch out a little, where is it? Oh, maybe it just fell out. Okay, it's not there anymore, so it must have fell out. Okay, so on this one I just run the glue. Now it will dry really fast. You can take your Xyron sticker maker and run it through and do it that way too if you want. Depending on the stick, it might not be forgivable, so once you stick it down, it might not be able to move it. So I like to use the glue so I can move it if it isn't stuck right. Oh, and I kind of did this, I'll show you on the second panel. I wasn't going to put glue on it first because I want to crease it first around it. So now I got to kind of work that way. So on the second one, I'll show you what I mean by that. Not there. And not there. Keep missing it. Okay, let me move that over. So what I did was, what I wanted to do is line the three up in the center where they're centered. Oh, actually I want to do it down here. I also want to do it this way. Where they're centered completely, and then fold it. That way it works out evenly around. Now see, at that point, let me get this side first so it doesn't dry on me. And at this point, if you didn't have your panel on, you could have bring it around right there and put your panel on top, but I'm just going to cut it off. I need to glue that panel back down too. So I'm just going to cut right there and right along the edge there. So let me get the glue on some more of that panel. Okay, so with the other one, this is what I would have did first before putting the glue on. I would line it up and make sure both sides were even, and then give it like a crease against there. Just pinch it, and then that way it's already turned. And if you wanted to cut it off at that point before gluing, you could. But I'm just going to wait, because just in case the glue makes the paper stretch, I don't want it to be short on one side. So I got my crease marks, and now I'm just going to put the glue again. This one's kind of hard to get the glue on because there's so many little pieces sticking up, so I just dot it really quickly. And I'm probably gluing my table, but I'll have to wipe that up. And like I said, the dries clear glue will be drying fast, especially since I have the air conditioner right above me, so it makes it even dry faster than it normally would. So I might have to go back in and put a little glue here and there. So I want to find those crease marks where I'm upside down, sorry. Find the crease marks where I creased it at and just fold it around and tap it down lightly right underneath the flaps. Oh, I don't want to come back around because I'm going to cut it. And just make sure it's like under the flap right there. I could have got a little closer to the crease under there, but that's okay. The flaps will be down like that, so it's not going to show too much that you're not up against it. Now on this card, a normal pop-up box that didn't have so much going on inside, it would shut. You know, I put these the butterflies on, it's kind of dimensional, so I would just make a box for this. I wouldn't even want to fold it up and put it in an envelope. I would just make a box to put it inside of, so that it's just like it is. And you could have something that says like happy birthday on it, or some other sentiment coming out that you can stick in there. I didn't do it, but I'm planning on giving this to my mom for her birthday. It's this next Sunday, so I'm going to put a happy birthday in there, I think on the pink or peachy pink color. And I got some glue on there. I usually don't, I'm just doing this fast for the video, so it's getting the glue some places I wouldn't normally get it. And I would be a little more careful with it. Okay, and next we're going to put on these two strips, and some people like to do it opposite. For this, I don't think it matters because we're not folding it, and I've tried it both ways and it works no matter what if you're doing the folding, because usually it would fold up like that, but either way it's still folded. But you know, it's your preference. So I'm just going to put some glue on here and on the other flap and stick it inside, and I'm going to make room so I can put two in there. So I just stuck it right to the sides, right. You can make it a little lower than the oh, it's almost drying. A little lower than the edge would be fine, and just hold it there until it dries. And then we'll do the same thing to the other one, crease and crease. And this piece is this panel right here. And you can put more in it, but I find that only two is pretty much all you need. Some people put 3 in there, but I never needed 3. Okay, and then we're just going to do that one. Push it back a little bit until it's, I want it a little further back. And my glue is drying again because of the air. So I'm going to put a little bit more, get it where I want it. I need to be able to hold it with 2 hands because it keeps popping off the other side when I do it. But you get the point of where you're supposed to put it, like that. And like I said, it could be a little further back if you wanted it, but it's gonna be fine. Okay, I'm gonna bend this back a little bit because it's kind of leaning forward. Okay, now we're gonna put the panels on, the lattice panels, and you can do this different ways. And these are the panels, these are the dies that made those panels. So what I did is I put it up here, and I did the same thing. If you want to put it underneath, and I did this with that one, I forgot to put it under, so I'm gonna lift this back up. But before you put this on, go ahead and put this panel under it so it won't show. That way you don't have to lift it up like I'm doing right here to get it on, because I want it to be underneath. So I'm just going to stick it under there and fold it back down. And I'm getting glue on everything again. Okay, it's I'm gonna put some more glue on the back so it will lay down because it was bending forward. And just tap it together so it glues down. Okay, now on the bottom ones I put it underneath, but you, again, if you want to put all of these on before all the panels on here, you can, and they will be under, but since I'm not folding up this box, I'm putting it under the flap so it's not going to show. So I'm going to put it on the top of, glue on the top of the, well, not the top, but the bottom strip, and stick it right underneath there and just hold it till it feels dry. And then I'm going to do both sides like that. And then I've seen different ways to do the smaller one. I did it differently than what I've seen on YouTube. This one, sorry, I was getting glues off on my hands because it's sticking to everything. Okay, on the panels, what I do is put it on the inside like this. Some people on YouTube have did it this way on the outside. I prefer it on the inside, so that's the way I'm going to do it. And so I'm just gonna stick it up on the first panel like this. And I'm not sure, but I don't think I need the fourth panel. I don't see that I used it because there's only 3 sides, then you have that back panel sticking out. And if you're putting it on the inside here, this is why you want these to be a little lower, because this is sticking up. I'm trying to get it on there. I put it a little too high on one side. But you want it at least 1/8 of an inch lower so you can put these panels inside if you're doing it that way. See right there, it's not wanting to stick because I had it too high. I'm forcing it. I'm just going to make sure the other side is stuck on the front. And come back around. Okay, so it's turning out really pretty right now with the lattice. And so I'm going to get rid of that piece. I don't need it. And so the next step is the doilies. And I had these doilies, the die cut out, but I put it away because I forgot I had to use it. So this was a set I got off of eBay. It came with, I think, 5 doily pieces that stacked inside each other. And so this is the smaller one and the next size up. So you can decide if you want to put the bigger one here and then the 2 smaller ones on this side, or if you want to put 3 smaller ones, or if you have other dies that you want to put something else there, you can skip the doilies and just put whatever you want to put there. On this one I put the smaller one, but on the front flap, but I think I'm going to put the larger one this time. And then the other larger one goes on the back right here, and you can put your to and from on the back. Stamp it. I didn't stamp mine yet. Oh, I got something on there. I didn't stamp it yet, but you might want to stamp it before you glue it on. That would probably be easier. So I'm going to find the right side of my paper because one's shinier. Depends on the paper you're using. You can use any colors, combinations you want. And then I'm just going to stick it in the middle, right there. And you can use large doilies on the sides instead of smaller ones. That's up to you. And you can use your tear tape, score tape, whatever you want. I'm using a glue. I'm going to check this one to make sure it's sticking. Okay. So it kind of really goes together pretty fast once you get the hang of it. Okay, so I have that extra doily I'm going to set aside. Okay, and again I'm going to bend this back a little bit, just kind of rub it so it's not leaning forward. Okay. Okay, at this point you're going to take your leaves. I've already did some leaves, and all I did with the leaves was I took my tool here, my stylus, and I took the larger end, I think. And you can actually take your ink pad and do like inks around the edge and, you know, make dimension or stamp something on it. But I'm just going to do them like I did the other one, and I'm just going to crease with the center. Just fold it over your tool. You can use any tool. You could use this tool right here, or this. I like this because it's a little fatter. And I think on my swap partners, I'm not sure, but I don't think I sent you the big one of the leaf. I think I sent you the next size. I just ran out of some leaves, so I'm going to be using that one, I think. Is the only one I didn't. But I think I sent 4 sizes of leaves, or maybe 3. Okay, so got all my leaves. And now I'm just going to start layering the leaves in. That will be, sorry, I think I'm out of frame here. I hope I wasn't out of frame earlier. So I'm going to put the bigger leaf right here in the back, kind of sticking up. And then I'm, to get this one to stay down a little bit, I'll put a little bit of glue right there. And using the dries clear glue, it goes pretty fast too. It dries pretty fast, so you don't have to sit there and wait for it. And then I'm going to take another one and put it over there. On this side. And then another bigger one. I'm going to, then you have to decide, you want to stick it to the, there's the thing, you're going to stick it to those flaps inside there, but you have to decide if you want to put it on the front part or the back part. I mean, it doesn't really matter. So you can go up on the bottom and hold it if you need to. Now if something starts going where you don't want it, you can actually snip this off. I'm not sure if I'll keep that there because it's it might be in the way of where I want the flowers. but I'm gonna wait and see. So I'm going to take this one and put it right. I put the glue on the back of the leaves, the crease is on the front. I'm gonna stick it right against the edge of the box because this one's going to be one that folds over the edge. And later you can take your tool and kind of curl it if you want. I'm just gonna stick it over there for now and just leave it how it is. If I can get it stick. It was sticking to my fingers. And then the other one, I'm going to put the other corner, let's see, that way. And put that in that corner. I'm going to put it a little lower. And go up from the back because it's not wanting to stick. Okay. Let's see, I wanted to put this right in the middle. And I'll put a smaller one right in the front. Sticking up right there. And here's one that I just pulled the other leaf off. It's got two. You can pull both of them off. You can have one wherever you want to stick it afterwards. Once you get your flowers on, you might want to put some more. Stick them here and there. I don't know if I want it there. Glue dried on me already. Okay, that way. Actually, I wanted it the other way. So it bends over a little bit of the edge and around that way. This part can be fussy. You just gotta bear with it. And I'm gonna take that off. I'm going to put one more right there. Hold it from the bottom inside. And at this point I'm going to wait because I've got a lot of leaves in there and I want to see where the flowers are going to go. Okay, so the flowers, I left a couple of them undone. They're supposed to be like this, and also that center, I didn't glue that on, right? Okay. So the flowers, my swap partner's got these pieces right here, and what they're going to do is find the way that it fits on there. You might have to go around, turn it over till you see it fits right, and then you're just going to glue the back of the flower onto right onto it in the center. And then just press it down till it attaches. The same with the small one. And it depends on how many flowers you want to put on there. You might have extras in your kits. My glue. It's coming off on my hands onto there. So I normally would go wash my hands, which I might have to do in a second here. Pause the video. Okay, and then I would take the centers. I included these sheets in the swap for them. If they wanted to use them on the flowers, they could. So just take one off. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on this because I didn't use the glue. I just used a sticky and it was coming off on a couple I saw. And just put it onto the center. Oh, I got you. And then the small one, I used the small rhinestone. Those are going to dry. Okay, I'm going to take the butterflies and do them too at this time. And I'm just going to put the glue on in random places. Doesn't have to be everywhere. And then I'm going to stick it down. Now on this one, I didn't put the backing on. You can choose whether to put it on or not. I was just showing you how you can put the backing on and use the backing on it too on this one. Now on the little one, I did do it that way. But I'm going to put the backing on both of these. And just press it down. And then on the big one, I put a gem in the center and a larger gem, and then a smaller gem on the top and the bottom, and then a smaller gem in the middle of the smaller butterfly, so you see it. And then I just want to crease the wings and take my tool and kind of, you can use any kind of tool to do this that's round, like cylinder shape, like a skewer or a pen, or my stylus too I could use. Set that aside. And now you're just going to randomly put your flowers. Oh, you can take your tool too on your flowers. I forgot that. Just curl your flower edges. You can curl them in or out or opposite, every other one, whatever you want to do. And then I kind of just push the centers in and curl it around. Now on camera, I'm going to put a few of these here and there. I'm not going to make the whole thing because of time, but I will show you the finished product too after I'm done. I'll just keep going around. And I should have curled these earlier off camera. Okay, on this one I'm going to do the opposite of what I did to the other one. I'm going to put the flower here and save some leaves to stick up in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Glue the leaf on. Now on the other one, I think I glued the leaf on after, but that was an afterthought, so this time I kind of know I want the leaf there. So I'm going to put it on now. And then I put some glue on the back of the flower and go that way. Push it down. Center it and hold it down. And then I want the peach flowers to be on the side. Take another leaf and glue it down. And then I'm going to glue I gotta put this glue on the center rhinestone because it's not sticking. And then just center it where you want. After it dries, you can go back and curl your leaves, your petals up. And then I'm going to take another large one, curl it. Put the glue and stick that one right up in here. I'm going to turn the light on because it's getting dark in here. I should have turned it on a half an hour ago. I didn't. Okay, so I don't like that leaf right there. I'm just going to cut it off. And then I'll probably re-stick it a better way. Okay, and then I'm going to put another big one. Right over here. On that one. And I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. I had to go take care of something, but I folded all the edges. I curled them while I was doing that, and I also attached the flower to the side panel and curled some more leaves because I'm going to need them. So now I'm going to take some smaller leaves. Now what I included this piece with my swap partners. You can just cut strips and then glue the strip onto the back of your flower. like that. And then I'm going to cut it down because I don't need that much. And then you can stick it down. There's a leaf down in there blocking me. You can stick it down in there where it's going to stick out. Put some glue on the front panel, or the front of the green panel, and then back there where you have that one panel, you'll just stick it right down in there. And you can flip it over again so you can grab a hold of it on the bottom to hold it and push it in there till it dries. And then it's sticking up like that. And what I like to do is put a leaf in front of it, or add maybe another little thing of leaves to cover up the strip of green, because that's a kind of a wider strip. But I'll do that at the end because I don't want to put too much in there. And so this one I'm going to stick in there. I'm going to cut another strip. And put it on the back. And then I'm going to stick it, I kind of want it to curve, so I'm going to glue it down the leaf, or the petal. So I want to stick it right there, and then kind of curve this, so it's kind of sticking back. First I want to squish it together like a flower, and curve it. So I'm going to, let's see, cut some of this off and then put some glue on the front of the stem and then stick it right down in there, kind of getting the petal up there, and then push it from the bottom. And then it's just sticking there. Okay. And I'm going to take the shorter side and cut a couple more for my smaller flowers. Oops. Stick that on there. And that will go on the back. You always have to decide whether you're going to put it on the back or the front, which panel you're going to stick it in. And that's where it depends on the back or the front of the leaf. So I'm going to stick it on the first panel, back behind this leaf. Kind of have to maneuver it in there. Okay, and then I'm going to do a pinky peach color. And again, this one I will pinch to the middle to make it look like it's cupped like a flower. And you can go back and do that to all of them, just to give it some shape once they're dried and glued down. Okay. Because once you're messing with it, trying to get them where you want, they kind of flatten out again. So you want to go back and do that. Okay, this one I'm going to stick right in the front. Now the front, I'm sticking it to this panel right here, just the outside of the box. Well, it's the inside of the box, but the outside. I'm not sticking it to one of those panels over there that I put in the centers. Okay, putting that down, and then I think I'll put one more right. I think I'm going to put one up there, but I think it's going to be that one, maybe. can plan out your color scheme ahead of time before gluing down anything to see if we want something, just by sticking flowers here and there, and to see if you like it. And that one's going to go on the second panel in the back, and I'm going to reach up on the bottom so I can feel it gluing to it. Okay, and then I'm just going to glue that one right up under the flowers, sticking up out of there. And I'll pull the leaves, and once it's dry, cup the flower again. But you gotta let it dry first, because you'll pull it right off if you try to do it before it's dry. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm going to put the butterfly, the small one, right here. So let me see, is there something to glue it to? Okay, I'm going to add this leaf so I can glue the butterfly to that, because there wasn't really anything that was big enough for it to stick to at that point. Coming up from the bottom, stick that on, and then I'm going to curl the leaf a little bit back towards the center so the butterfly will sit right there on it. This peach flower down here kind of got buried, but that's okay. It's just dimension, and when flowers grow for real, they get buried like that. So, and I'll glue that butterfly right to that leaf. Oh, I gotta hold it a second. So. Okay. I think I want that leaf to be brought around to the front. Right through there. So you could play to where you want stuff. Okay, I could play all day, so I'm gonna stop. And I'm going to put my other butterfly, the big one. I don't know if I want to put it on the leaf, next to the leaf, like I did the other one on the other box. So I'll hold it down there for a second. And I kind of like the contrast of the other box where I did the flowers opposite. So the pink and the green are teal right here instead of the pink and the pink. But that's just me. You could add more colors. Not just 2 colors, you could just add more than 2 if you want. Make a whole bunch of different colors. And of course this box you can use other things besides flowers. You can use balloons for happy birthday. I kind of wish I would have switched those two flowers, the peach on this side and that. I mean, I could take it off right now and do that, but I'm not going to right now. So, and then I have extras I'm not going to put on right now, except for, it's a good thing I saved the larger one, because I forgot. Save the larger one for the back if you want to put it on the back panel. Or you could put a couple of smaller ones. That would work too. Or you could put the butterfly back there. It's up to you. So I'm going to stick that right on there. Glue got on there from earlier. It was on my hands so bad. Oh, when I took that break, I did go wash my hands. I don't know if I said that. Okay. So there's the box. And like I said, you can add with more things with the paper by cutting it and doing the stick up. But you can take acetate, and I did have a piece of acetate, but I don't know where it went. It's somewhere here where I can't see it. But the acetate, you can cut strips to stick up and it'll look like something's floating because you can't see the acetate too much. Like you could have the butterfly coming up and like looking like it's flying by using the acetate. I think you have to use a thicker acetate so it won't bend over, because it's kind of, if you use the thinner acetate, it's kind of flimsy and it will just bend over. So you want to try and do that. And I see, I kind of want to just like put another leaf right there. Like I said, it's to your own eye, you know, what feels right to you or looks right to you. You will never have probably the same looking box unless you plan it out that way, but you'll always want to do something different. Okay, so that's the tutorial for the pop-up box, and I hope my swap partners liked having something to do, like a challenge with their die cut. And now I'm going to make the other one of the other videos. Well, I have 3 more videos for the boxes and the swap, so I'm gonna go move on to that. So thank you for watching. Leave a comment if you have any questions and I'll answer them to the best I can, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.